These are the documents you will need to provide for a lease in Ontario. Hi, I'm Michael Ouzas from Michael Ouzas Real Estate, and I'm a realtor in the Greater Toronto Area. In my first year as a realtor, I did as many leases as I possibly could. This allowed me to learn the ins and outs of the paperwork, get a feel for the buildings and lockboxes, most importantly, meet some amazing clients and friends. While going through this experience, I found that the clients who were most prepared and had their documents lined up always had the best chance of getting a lease agreement accepted. As things open up here in Toronto, the lease market is picking up steam. Let's go through those documents, why it's important to gather them, and as a landlord, why it's important to go through them. As always, take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button. If you're a landlord and tenant and need any help finding a Toronto rental, let me know. For today's video, we will go over the documents required by a landlord and a realtor to help with a lease. If I'm taking clients to see a unit, I typically ask for these documents before the showings. In a market like Toronto, this allows me to have all the documents, make sure they check out well, and if a client likes the unit, there's no delay into moving forward with a contract. Sometimes that delay is a difference of getting a property or losing it to another offer. It also makes sure we don't waste anyone's time if they don't line up accordingly, or if there's anything else we need to gather in the meantime. The first thing we're going to need is the OREA rental application. This is an official document which has your references, your employment, your income, you put down your pets, your cars, contacts, past landlords. It's all on there. That's the first place to start. The next thing we'll need is an official Equifax credit check. Typically, most landlords want to see Equifax. They don't accept things like Credit Karma or a screenshot from your phone. The full report is ideal as it shows and breaks down your full credit history. As a rule of thumb, if your score is 700 above, you're usually pretty good. If you're below 700, I would recommend finding a guarantor as you'll need the same documents for them as well. Next thing we'll need is an employment letter which states your occupation, how long you've been with the company, and your total gross annual income. As a rule of thumb, we typically try not to use more than 30% of your annual income towards the rental income. That means that if the property is renting for $2,000 a month, that's $24,000 a year. Typically, you want to make about $75,000 a year or above, which is give or take 25 to 30% of your gross annual income. If you like a property and want to proceed with an offer, that's when your realtor will need driver's license, photo ID, pay stubs from the last 2 or 3 months, and typically a letter about yourself, which helps establish some kind of rapport with the landlord. It's not mandatory, but sometimes it helps. The realtor will prepare the paperwork for signing. If an offer is accepted, congratulations. Now it's time to get in that first and last month's rent deposit in the form of a bank draft. Your realtor will be able to instruct you on where to make that deposit. On closing, e-transfer can be discussed beforehand, but some landlords still require checks, so having them ready is important. You will also most likely need to have a check for the key deposit as well. For all you landlords out there, you will need all of this documentation and make sure that your realtor actually calls the references and verifies the employment. They should also report back to you and be honest in any findings, whether good or bad. If you do decide to accept an application in Ontario, you will need to provide an Ontario standard lease prepared by the landlord or the landlord's realtor for signing within 21 days, no exception. Otherwise, the tenant can actually withhold 1 month's rent. It's a super easy form to fill out and readily available on the Landlord Tenant Board website. Working with an agent that knows the ins and outs of the rental market, whether on the landlord or tenant side, will help you best navigate all the details for rental property. The goal on either side is always the same. That's to match amazing tenants with amazing landlords. If you have any questions, whether on the landlord or tenant side, book a call with me in the description, send me a message or comment down below. I'm always here to help, and as always, if you're interested in more real estate content, hit that like and subscribe button and follow me on all socials at Michael Ouzas Real Estate.